Everybody, I'm the Oregon sales rep. Happy to be here. I'm glad you guys decided to go with us for your new gym. Beautiful school. Thank you for your business, and I'll hand out some cards afterwards, and you guys know you can call me for anything you need. But for now, I'll just go through some of the basics here for starting up, and we'll just pretend like we're doing a basketball game. So, scoreboards are on. If the power to the scoreboards is on, you can flip on your all-sport console. If anyone wants to come around and look or see, or if you want me to kind of turn this, I can as well. Who's going to be operating for the most part?
We're about him right now.
Okay. So, slide this down. So, it's always going to ask you to resume game. If you had a game that was in session, for whatever reason you had to stop or turn off the all-sport or quit the game and you want to just get back in, you can hit yes. You can hit enter on that to resume the game, and it'll just go back to what it was. Typically, though, if you're coming in, new game, you're just going to hit clear. And let's say we're trying to control both scoreboards for a varsity game going on. So we're doing basketball. It's going to ask you for your code. Now, these are the all-sport inserts right here. Each of these inserts has a code on it. Typically, you just use the top code, but you can see that, you know, depending on the scoreboard, code 1101 is for player foul, which you'll see. If you had a different scoreboard that was listed foul player instead, you would do 1102 for you guys, and we can even label that here for basketball. 1101 is the right code. You'll just go and make sure it's set to 1101. If it's not, you would just change it to whatever on your number pad. But for now, we're just going to go 1101 for basketball. Enter. Then you're going to just go ahead and slide that in. Now it is going to ask you again if you want how many scoreboards you want to control and how you want to set your broadcast and radio settings. So for now we're going to do both scoreboards. So I'm going to hit clear to go to my broadcast group selection and my radio channel selection. Now the broadcast group is 1. Both scoreboards are set to broadcast group 1. And I'm actually going to change the radio to 00. What that means is that every single scoreboard on broadcast group 1 should now be being controlled by this console. So I'm going to go ahead and enter on that. It might take a second or two, but we should see both scoreboards light up here.
So you wouldn't see anything light up until you've done all of those steps?
Right. If you hit clear game, then once you've gone through all these steps, then you should see everything light up. Okay. So they're going to look like they're off, but they're not. The scoreboards are. Okay. But until you go in and tell it what broadcast group and radio channel to activate, they're going to stay blank. So from there, now you have both scoreboards going. And again, does anybody know, is it a 45-second shot clock or a 30-second shot clock for Oregon High School?
We don't have a shot clock yet.
Okay.
It's really only for tournaments.
Tournaments, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Is a shot clock coming? Does anyone know? Is that in the talks?
Yes,
okay.
In the talks.
Okay.
One more time, what was your name again?
Derek.
Derek.
My name is Derek. So, just curious. All right, so again, there you have this remote here plugs into the back of the all-sport. This is for your game clock. So a lot of schools will have an operator just running this. They can focus just on your game and on your clock. You'll notice if I just flip it, okay? It's a nice analog switch, meaning I can just be watching the game as I go. Oh, foul. I don't need to look down. I don't need to hit a button. I can just hit that switch. Oh, we're going again. Flip it back on. So typically, it's easy to have one person just focused on that. Now, if you had, we'll leave that running. If you had to run the shot clocks for whatever reason, a lot of times you'll just have the same thing going. Now, a nice thing about this is you got a couple reset buttons on your shot clock, so you don't need to hit stop to reset. Say we're going, okay, he shot, he missed it, rebound, other team. Reset 1, it's going to take it back to 45 seconds and just recycle and just keep it going. So again, this person here operating this can just focus on the game again. Oh, reset it again. Reset 2 is 30 seconds. So if for some reason it's a 30-second shot clock, your reset 2 is 30 seconds. You've already got that set up great. You can label that as well. Anything, feel free to stick a bunch of labels on here that'll kind of clarify that. But then again, you can, if you have to stop, you just hit stop. Reset 1 takes it back to 45, 2 back to 30. Start. All right. rebound, other team has it, back to 45 seconds, whatever it may be. So
Derek, the program for the stop clock, you can readjust those times?
yes, yep, and you can adjust those in here through settings, and I can try and show you guys that too. That we might be learning together on that. But yes, you can go in and change through the settings the shot clock time. So let's say you needed to, we can, and I'll try and show you guys that as well. So
Scoreboard like power. Say for instance we get here, everything's on, doing what it needs to do. The scoreboards aren't lighting up. Is there a switch that we should be probably looking for?
The first thing I would check is make sure that somebody didn't flip the breaker on the scoreboards themselves.
You mean up there?
Well, just wherever the power is for the scoreboards, because that happens more than you think.
By the bleachers up there,
Up
that
top,
storage
okay.
room. That's
That-
the breaker for them.
That actually happens more than you think, that somebody accidentally flipped the breaker and actually powered off the scoreboards, because you don't know until you power up the console if the scoreboards are on, because there's no rotating LED like you might see on other scoreboards or anything that just wastes power and runs. Yep. So you would have to, if you went in, the first thing I would check is make sure the broadcast group and radio channel are set to 1, and if you're trying to do both scoreboards, 00. Otherwise, that scoreboard is radio channel 1, this one's radio channel 2. So I would check that first. So I'm going to just pretend like we're starting over to answer your question, but I'd just come in again.
Also, I guess I'm building on that question. If we didn't want the shot clocks on, what do we need to do?
If you just didn't want them on at all,
Yeah.
I will try and show you that. I believe we can probably just go to settings. Well, I'm gonna try unplugging it and see what that does, but let me see if I can figure that out for you. So here's your shot. If you go into edit settings, if anyone wants to see this, you can change your shot clock times. So again, you got your console on, menu, you're gonna go up or down with your arrows till you get to edit settings, hit enter. Then you're gonna scroll, you're gonna see a lot of different options and things you can change. You can change your main period time. Let's say we wanted to change that to, I don't know, 5 minutes for some reason. Then you have shot clock time reset 1, again, is set to 45 seconds. So you could change that to 30, 25. Reset 2 is set to 30 seconds. You could change them both to 30 seconds so that there's no confusion on that.
Derek, would you say that if you've worked other scoreboard consoles, this is pretty similar to most of the other ones throughout other high schools? I mean,
I would say if you've worked at other Daktronics consoles, it's similar. I can't say, because I haven't been very hands-on with other scoreboard consoles. They all probably are similar in some ways, but I think you can do quite a bit more with ours than most. But has anybody ever used an All Sport before? Has anybody ever used a different scoreboard controller? Okay, you guys. All right, great. Yeah, there's similarities, but also probably quite a few differences as well.
And that's all wireless, obviously. Is there any communication issues that can come up to communicating?
Well, anytime you're using wireless, there is the potential for interference, whether it's from bodies, cell phones, but typically no. Don't see a lot of issues. Almost every single scoreboard we do is radio. In large high schools, small high schools, there's really not many issues that I've come across, so I would not expect any issues with that, but it is wireless, it is radio, so there is potential.
The thing is, like football, the football out there, we had a lot of problems with the frequency. It didn't match up to the board.
Okay.
So we had a huge problem with our board.
Like we'd be turning on a console in here and the football scoreboard would light up.
Yeah.
You'd be hearing the horn going off and
Well,
all
yeah,
kinds of crazy
yeah.
things.
It was like lacrosse, they couldn't keep score because they weren't.
All that is setting the channel inside the radio receiver to either a different broadcast group. I would set any outdoor scoreboards to a different broadcast group. If you have problems with that, that's where you can call me. I'll help you work through that. If for some reason you're turning on the scoreboard in here and the football scoreboard's lighting up, I can come out and either walk someone through how to change those radio channels, or I can do it for you. So whatever
That's
works.
something I've had to put a work order in, like have an electrician come out and see what's going on with that. You know?
You just call me on that. I'll leave you my card. If you have that again, just give me a call. Big thing with me, guys, is service, okay? I really care that you guys are comfortable, you feel good. So I'm not a service guy, but for something like that, I have time to probably help out with that. We can work somewhere. I am. I'm over on the south side of Portland right now. I'm new to Oregon. I'm new, so I'm learning some of the areas, but and this is my first kind of training, so it's exciting. But I will hand out some cards and try and help you guys as much as possible. So it is important to me that you feel like you're taken care of.
So Darren, how easy is that to switch to different sports? Say like we're doing volleyball.
Let's go through that. That's easy. So you can either, a really easy way to do it is just flip it off. Anytime you're just like, we just need to start over, new sport, whatever, I just say flip it off. Flip it back on, because then right away it's going to ask you, do you want to resume game? Well, no, we don't, because we want to switch to volleyball. We're going to hit no. Then it asks you for what code to put in. So now we're looking at volleyball here. Code for volleyball, top one is 2101, which is probably what you would use. And something too, if you guys ever lose any of these, you can always order them from us, but on our website too, you can find them and print off a paper copy in a pinch. So at least you have, a backup if for some reason it's a Thursday afternoon and you're having a game and you realize that the insert is missing, you can go to our website and just print off a paper copy, and then you can work with our service and they'll get you a new one sent, get it to you right away.
They come with one set only?
Each all sport comes with one set. So typically, people just keep them, well, you can keep them underneath right here. This is a nice spot to keep them. That's kind of why this is here. There's some instructions in there. There's some stickers in there. You can put some stickers on these if you want. So there will be, I'll show you guys that.
Another quick question for you. Can they buy the hard plastic cases for us?
Yes.
Those cases right there, knowing what I've seen in the school so far?
They get tossed around. I know everybody, the consoles are sturdy. You can throw this thing around, but the case, it gets lifted in and out and put away and goes everywhere. And yeah, sometimes they kind of get beat up. You can get the hard-sided cases.
The bracket on the right side of your controller, what is that?
This guy? This is the antenna right here. So other scoreboards and other companies, you're going to see that their antenna sits on the back and it twists and turns and does all kinds of goofy, and that wire inside gets twisted and the antenna gets beat up. We went ahead and encased the antenna right here so it doesn't move around anymore, and it's sturdy. So I don't want to throw it on the ground or anything, but you could. This is what I was talking about with, if you know your basketball code is always going to be 1101, you can take this 1101 sticker and put it right here on this place code label here, and then people know when they're putting in that insert, okay, 1101 is the code I want. So some people don't know. If you have a new operator coming in or somebody running a tournament or something, they might not know exactly what code, so you can just take that sticker on there. I can do that for you right now if you guys want, but I'll leave it to you if you'd rather do that. Just that way you can make sure it's what you want to do. Not every school does that, but that's why this is in here, so you can just put a sticker of the correct code on there, and that way there's no confusion when you pull out the insert. Okay, 1101 is the code I need. So that's underneath. A lot of people keep their inserts underneath, and now I'm going to get back to the original question and switch into a different sport here. Any questions on that? If I'm going too fast, feel free to just let me know, so I know I can get going.
Maybe you can put a card in that sleeve in the back there for a quick finding it. Yeah,
His business card? Oh, no.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I could see things like these controllers maybe.
Before I forget, let me do that before I forget here. got my cell phone number on it, so, and my email. And also, nice thing too, it has our service number on the back as well. It's 877-605-1115. They are a great resource. They are available throughout the week, and they are on call on Saturdays. So they're really the go-to if you're having an issue, but if you need to, you can call me and I can help facilitate that call with them as well. But I am not a trained service tech, so I don't know every issue, but hopefully you guys won't experience too many or any at all. Going back to switching sports. Let's say we're switching to volleyball. I'm just going to go ahead and turn them on. It's going to ask me to resume game. I'm going to hit no. Now it's asking me what code I want, and we're going to say 2101. And that's the volleyball code. Enter. We'll do both scoreboards. Again, we're set to broadcast 1. We'll always leave this on broadcast 1. All these scoreboards are set to broadcast 1. Again, channel 00 is to control all the scoreboards on broadcast 1. So we'll leave it at 00 to control both of these scoreboards. Let's go ahead and hit enter on that.
So that's something that they should ever have to screw with. It's already set up for broadcast 1.
Yeah. The only thing you would change is the channel if you wanted one console to control that scoreboard and one console to control that one. So there we go. Now I'm not as familiar with volleyball as far as just how it's scored and aces and kills and things, but basically just keep track of your score. And you have all your buttons here. You can timeout, in-game, timeouts. You can set your match number, whatever match number you're on. It's match 3, set 1, set 2, set 3. Again, I'm not an expert on volleyball when it comes to, sets and matches and those things, but all your buttons are here. Is anybody a big volleyball person? Okay. Is that making sense? You know? Okay. All your buttons are here. So as far as your match number, your set number, that lower one there is your match number. That period under period is your set number, and then you have your score. And then, is there anything else? I mean, that's pretty much. Is that pretty much it?
Basic.
Okay.
Yeah. You just have to be able to put points up and then use the clock for timeout.
All right. Timeout, select off. Would you want the timeout counting down on the clock like that? Okay. How long is the timeout?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. Let me change that for you.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Don't tell her.
We don't get choices.
How long is a full timeout in basketball? Minute, 30 seconds?
I know 30 is.
It's 30 second and then
I know it's 20 minutes.
20 seconds.
We beep at 20 seconds, isn't it?
No, 15.
Oh, you beep it.
First one is 15 seconds.
Wow, it's like, when you want me to
Louder
get
than horn. Yeah.
You tell me, I keep you happy.
You'll hear it. I can let it sound. Okay. Let me see if I can get it. Is there any sort of horn warning in a volleyball timeout?
Yes. Well, I don't know about volleyball. There is.
Is it at 15 seconds, 30?
Usually 15.
Okay. Let me see if I can set that for you.
The rest will write the whistle too.
but in basketball, does it start when the timeout is called, or does it start when everyone gets back to the bench?
When the ref gets back.
Coach timeout.
You have under settings. I'm just going under edit settings, and all these are listed. Under again edit settings, you have timeouts mode warning, and it's set to 0 right now. But we'll try setting it to, you say 30 seconds. The warning 15.
Is that 15?
Okay. We'll see what it does. Well, you can see So we're counting down the minute timeout here. And just gonna let that keep going while I look at some things.
But I did it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fire alarm. You shouldn't have to lose My granddaughter lost her balloon in my house last night, and I'm like, I can't get it. The ceiling's too high.
Let it run its course. Let it go.
Loud enough? Should we?
Oh, that scared her.
Can install a louder one.
Huh? Hey, Dave. That's you said. We're good again. Wow, that is really loud here.
Wait, so when there's a lot of bodies in here, it won't quite ring your ears like that, but we do want to make sure it is loud enough for people to hear, and especially the players and the coaches. So, okay, so other than that, volleyball is pretty straightforward. It's just scoring, and I think your volleyball operators will find it's pretty easy to use. What else can I show you?
So even for basketball, if we go to a timeout, is there a way to set that? I'm just asking.
Yes.
You don't have to do it.
I can set it right now if you would like me to.
I don't know.
Yes.
If we go to a
Again,
timeout, there's a button they can push that will do a countdown.
yeah, you can either show it. Do you like to have it showing up
Yeah,
there?
it's better if it's shown.
Okay. I know some don't because they like to have the game time always visible so the coach can look up and remember, we got 38 seconds left, but show it.
Who the coach?
Let me, yep, it's all under edit settings again.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, just as long as you're able to do that, that's good.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah, an athletic director should know.
And again, I'm happy to setting that up for you beforehand.
So again, there's 2 systems with this building so far, so they would probably need 3. So we just contact you to be able to get all that.
Yeah, so that you can contact me and I can help facilitate that for you. It would probably go through service at this point. Yep. So who would be the? Would I be talking with you? Who would be the main contact there on that?
Yeah, right now.
Have them reach out to me, and I'll help get that set up.
Yeah, no biggie right now.
Okay. What else? Do you guys have wrestling?
So the 2 systems that we have now, does it matter? Oh, you have them. That's the main gym. So they're already programmed for
Yep.
this
So,
gym.
so right now this one's programmed to control both the scoreboards and this gym.
Okay. So if we bring in a 3rd one, it would have to say main gym as well.
That's up to you guys how you want to label it. But if you did bring in, you could have like main gym 1, main gym 2.
Okay.
That way you could have. That's how I would do it, I guess. I would do like a main gym 1 or a main gym 2 if you had 2 that were dedicated to here, so that you could split the courts, and then I would have the 3rd one be the aux gym.
Yeah, so I mean, 3rd one definitely there, but I'll just probably, so if we have 2 and they're both main gym, either one of them can run both.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
But you'd have to program it to go 1, 2.
Yep.
So yeah, that'd be the best way to do it. Just 2
Okay.
main gyms.
Yeah. And I would leave, like I said, I would leave it, both of them set to control both boards, and then just change them as,
Yep.
And I can walk through that again if you guys want to see that again, or for the video.
I think we're good. He got what he needed.
I got a question on the scoreboards themselves. As far as maintenance on those, impacts, obviously they're pretty impact resistant.
Yeah.
But from the electrical standpoint, is there anything that could go bad that we could either maintenance or service?
Well, I guess I would say with any electronics, there's potential for something to happen, but no, I wouldn't expect, your LEDs on your digits are rated for, 100,000 hours, so the scoreboard aren't going to be on all the time, so I would expect you to not experience a lot of issues unless there's some sort of a wiring issue or a power problem that could be potentially.
Research is quite a bit, so.
Oh, okay.
Is there power filters built in, or?
I believe there are some filters built in to help with that. That's a good question. I can certainly look into that too and just kind of let you know as well, for sure. But it's not a problem that we deal with a lot, I suppose, as far as issues with the scoreboard themselves. I would recommend turning off the scoreboards if, like, in the summer. Leave them on during the school year if you're going to be using them a lot, volleyball, basketball. But like during the summer, if they're not going to be in here or using them, a lot of people just leave them on. It's kind of like leaving a car idling. It's not going to break your car necessarily, but it's more wear than is necessary. So if there's going to be a long period of time where you're not using the scoreboards, I'd just flip the power off to them, and then you wouldn't have to worry so much about. Yeah, that's what I would do. If it's not a hassle, if it's easy to turn them off, if you're not planning on using them, it's just nice to not, because the scoreboards will always still be powered as long as that breaker's on, and then that's more potential for, a surge to do something, or a lightning strike, or whatever it may be.
Fuses or anything they can blow out there that we can.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that happening. I've never seen that.
You plug it in, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
That's the only control that really operates it.
Yeah, as long as power, as long as you get your breaker on, this controls the boards.
So they don't ever need to be reset. There's no buttons on there. There's no nothing.
You shouldn't have to do anything with the scoreboards themselves. Now that they're up and have power, it's, sometimes things can happen if there's, power surge. There's potential for, I don't know. I'm not an electrician. I apologize.
I just mean like synchronizing and
No.
rebooting it and locked up and we got to reset it and there's nothing.
You shouldn't have to do anything there, no. The controller is really operating the scoreboard at this point, telling it what to do. As long as the scoreboard's on, it's just waiting for that console to reach out to it and say, hey, we're ready to start the game here. So,
Basically, you can take that scoreboard and anywhere in the gym and operate.
Yeah, I would think.
Got power.
Yeah, yep. As long as this is plugged in, you should be able to do it from anywhere in here. Certain areas, you do want line of sight. It is a radio. It is a radio signal coming out and going to the antennas on the scoreboard. So I would think you could do it from anywhere in here, but maybe if you're behind the bleachers or something, you would have a little bit of a delay on the clock possibly if that radio signal is having trouble getting out. But from here, is this where your score table sits for games?
You won't know yet.
Okay. So I would say I wouldn't expect any issues in this gym with that.
So she's running like a volleyball match, and here she runs.
Question on your product in general. So since that's wireless and all you need to do is plug in and can communicate through a channel to each one of these scoreboards, is there any reason you can bring in like 2 more scoreboards and however other mini controllers you need to be able to just go wirelessly and have, let's say, each one of these hoops have its own game, 4 separate games going all at once and scoring separately, or for like wrestling matches, you able to do that same thing?
Yeah, no, there's no reason you wouldn't be able to do that. And you could, like, if you were to put a couple more scoreboards in here, just hypothetically.
Just even on the ground or roll in.
Oh.
Something like that.
We'll say it really it just knows to control one or just all the scoreboards the same on that broadcast group. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Hopefully I answered your question. Good question, though. Thank you.
How many years of warranty?
How long is the warranty? The 5-year warranty. Everything is covered. There's no labor in that, but all the that means the console, that means the radios, that means the scoreboard. It's all covered under a 5-year parts warranty. So if you have an issue next year, our service will send, the part replacement, whatever it is. So it's a great warranty. It's the best out there. That I do know. So, and you got local help too. So I hope that's important to you guys, and it's important to me that you guys feel good about come, basketball game time, that the scoreboards are going to work. So, is there anything? Is any other questions? Is there anything else I can show you? Does anyone want to get on and mess with it and kind of ask some questions while they're playing around with it? Does anybody want to?
I'm not, because I'm a company part of the school. Do you guys want to get on it and touch some buttons?
Do you want to try volleyball? Mess with it a little bit.
You got the next month to mess around.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You'll figure it out.
Well, if nobody else has any for Derek, we'll release him.
Thank you.
I hope that was helpful to you guys.
It was excellent.
I love teaching people how to work our stuff. So
Derek, you were fantastic.
thank you. I
Question
appreciate
you
it.
got to have